Hello, private security professionals, and welcome back to the Hardened Civilian YouTube channel. One of the biggest problems that I've seen with majority of private security agencies that I've interacted with is that they operate without a business strategy. Operating without a business strategy is like shooting arrows in the dark. While business strategy consists of multiple components, in this video, I'm going to talk about one of the most critical components, and that is branding. Branding is much more than just logos, uniforms, and websites. So, today, when you, as a private security agency owner, are competing with 27,000 plus other private security agencies in India, then it becomes extremely important for you to build a brand that helps you stand out from the crowd. So, without any further ado, let's get right into the video and see how branding can unlock massive value and growth for your private security agency. First thing for you to understand is that branding is not optional. It is not as if you can choose to work without a brand. You will have to create a brand if you really want to succeed in this industry. Most private security agencies think that branding is just a logo or a uniform. That is not at all true. Branding in reality is equal to trust. A brand is equal to perception, and a brand is equal to pricing power. So, if you have a strong brand, you will have strong trust with your clients, you will have a strong brand perception or a market positioning in the industry. And once you have that market positioning in the industry, you can have a strong pricing power. But all these things tie back to you having a strong brand to begin with. Why most private security agencies struggle to stand out? That is one of the most common questions that anybody can ask in this industry. Because while there are 27,000 private security agencies currently operational in India as we speak, how many names do you know of? How many private security agencies come to your mind? That is the question to ask yourself. As I said, 27,000 plus licensed private security agencies in India currently operational. They have the same uniforms, same pitches, and same promises. And when we say same uniforms, it is just the color tone that is changing. It is just the logo that is changing. But there is no differentiation in that. And there can't be, right? Then same pitches and same promises mean that all private security agencies, or at least the majority of them, are trying to build their business by being most competitive on price, which, as I've established in multiple of my previous videos, is a race to the bottom. If you're competing on price, if you're saying that I am the cheapest instead of saying that I am the best, then that is where the problem lies. If you look like everyone else, you will be treated like everyone else. And that's the pain point, because the end client is not able to differentiate between private security agency 1 versus private security agency 2, because all these private security agencies look the same, talk the same, and work the same. So how is the end client supposed to differentiate between these service providers and choose the best one rather than going ahead and choosing the cheapest one? So that is the point. If you look like everyone else, you will be treated like everyone else. So that is where your responsibility of standing out takes even more weight. So what do strong private security agencies do differently, right? I'm sure at this point in time in this video, you already have a few names in mind who you feel or who you perceive as strong branded private security agencies. So you have to then do your research as a private security agency owner as to what these strong branded private security agencies are doing differently. Is there something that you can take inspiration from? Is there something that you can replicate at your own private security agency? Start asking these questions now. So strong branded private security agencies build a brand that says that they solve problems, right? That they are reliable and that they are not just manpower providers. They are much more than that. And then their brand becomes a strategic weapon. Now, when I'm saying that, these strong private security agencies who are building a brand or who have already built a brand, they say all these things. They are not saying these things just like that. They are backing it up in how their website looks like, in how their customer support is, in how their guards operate on ground, in how the private security agency owners themselves operate on ground, in how they deal with their clients, in how proactive they are in solving the client's problems, in how they are ahead of the curve by integrating technologies. These are the different things that they do, which then translate into this messaging, this brand positioning, that they are here to solve problems, that they are reliable, and that they are not just manpower providers. You see, what is the flip side of this? If somebody starts perceiving a private security agency as somebody who is not here to solve problem, who is not reliable, and who is just a manpower provider, you can easily imagine the kind of client relationship that private security agency will have with that end client. It is all about perception. It is all about your brand. You have to ensure that your brand is indeed a strategic weapon for you. So here's a sneak peek on how to build a brand. There are four basic components that will go into brand building, right? And there can be more components, or you can call them differently by different names, but these are just the basics for you. First is who, which means that you have to define who you are, and also equally important is to define who you are not. This is where you have to ensure that you define yourself as somebody who's much more than just a manpower provider, who's much more than just somebody who can put feet or boots on the ground. You are a security professional, you are a security expert, and you are here to take care of your end client's security needs, lock, stock, and barrel, right? So that is where you define who you are. Then comes ideal client profile. And I can't stress this enough that this is the most important piece of your business strategy, let alone branding strategy. If you have nailed this, if you have done this right, trust me that your growth will be exponential. You will be miles ahead of your competition. But you have done this the wrong way, or if you have not done it at all, the struggle will continue. You have to speak to the right clients in their language. And it all starts from determining who is the right client to begin with. Who is your ideal client? What is their profile? What is their background? What do they look like? What is their age? What is their gender? What is the problem that they have? How is your solution going to solve that problem of theirs? And how is it going to solve their problem in a way that is better than existing solutions? So this is what you have to figure out. And once you have figured this out, then you have to build your brand around this ideal client profile. The color palette, the font, the tone, everything that your brand does will be for this ideal client and nobody else. Then comes promote, very important. Here you have to make your guards reflect your brand values. As I said previously as well, that your guards are the face of your company. They are the ones who are interacting on a daily basis with your end client. So that becomes your opportunity to really promote your brand with your end client, right? So if your guards can reflect your brand values to the T, your end client will automatically start perceiving your brand through them. And that is what you have to aim for. And then the last is processes. You have to back it up with systems, not slogans. Your branding strategy has to be something that can run on its own. Your branding strategy has to be something that where all components seamlessly come together and all your actions back what your branding is telling your end client. It is not jingoism. It is not just making wild claims that we are the best private security agency in India. No, it is the end client who will determine that, whether or not you are the best for them, right? But your processes, your systems have to be such that your client automatically starts feeling that you are indeed the best private security agency out there, right? So who you are, your ideal client profile, then promoting your brand, and then backing it up with systems and processes. This is just a sneak peek on how to build a brand, but there is much more in store for you. So branding is just one piece of strategy. I've already said that. Your business strategy will consist of multiple components. Branding, one of the most important, and the first step to take while building a strong business strategy. So your brand is the front end, right? That is what the market will see. That is what the end client will see. But what fuels it is your business strategy. As I've said, that if your brand is claiming that you are much more than, let's say, manpower providers, then your business strategy has to support that. Okay, your end client says that I believe you are much more than just manpower providers. Then what else is it that you provide that is relevant for me? Right? That is where your business strategy will come into picture. And your business strategy will also consist of three more critically important inputs. What are these? Number one is right clients. As a private security agency, you cannot be saying yes to everyone left, right, and center. You have to be extremely choosy in who you wish to work with. Number two is the right team. As with clients, you can't be hiring all kinds of people left, right, and center. Again, you have to be choosy in who gets to work with your private security agency, because as I've said, your employees, your security guards are going to be the face of your brand. And number three is the right offer. So many private security agencies, because they are fighting the fight of survival each day, take up contracts which are not at all favorable for them. They make absolutely no business sense. And these kind of bad contracts will extract the maximum effort out of you while giving you the lowest returns or even a loss. So you have to ensure that you are making the right kind of an offer to the right kind of client and servicing them with the right kind of team. This is what will become the backbone of your business strategy. And once you are able to crack this, that is when real growth will happen. That is when you will leave your thousands of competitors way behind. Now, as I've said, branding is the first step to building a strong business strategy. But the question is, where do we start from? So if you're asking that question, then I already have an answer for you. 360 PSA is proud to present the Branding Strategy Masterclass for Private Security Agencies. It is going to be a 2-hour online workshop on 8th June, which is a Sunday. The timings will be 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. The location will be Zoom, and the fee is only 699 rupees. You will be learning the following in these 2 hours: what branding really means for a private security agency, how to position your agency to stand out, the key elements of a strong PSA brand, how to build a brand clients want to work with, online and offline strategies to showcase your brand, and how to start creating your PSA's brand roadmap. So you will, at the end of this workshop, be able to draft a tangible branding roadmap for your own private security agency. All this and much more in just 2 hours and 699 rupees on a weekend from your home. So no excuses. And who will be leading the workshop? It is yours truly, Manan Batra, which is me. I'm an MBA from the Indian School of Business, which is one of the top business schools in the world. I'm also the founder and CEO of 360 PSA. This is me. And this is what I tell my clients. You are not just another PSA. You must believe that before anybody else does. Right? So you have to start believing that you are not just another PSA in the crowd of 27,000 plus PSAs in this country. You are one of your kind. You are here to become an industry leader. And you need to believe that before anybody else will. So do register now. The link to register is in the description of this video. So we are 360 PSA and we are here only to make your PSA simply the best. We at 360 PSA work with only a handful of private security agencies who really have that hunger in the belly to become industry leaders and absolutely dominate the market. If you are a private security agency like that, do register for that workshop and we will see you there.